welcome, beloveds, to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. MumbiSeraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you are moving into living life truly on your own terms. We want to thank everybody that supports us on our Patreon and our PayPal accounts. We really couldn't do this show without you. And thanks to everyone that sends us the unique stories happening across the world, global Black family. And this is one that was sent to me on Instagram. Definitely follow us on all our handles. You can find the details in the description below. And I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago where a petition was actually launched calling on the government to compensate all African and Caribbean descendants so that they could move to a more equal society. Compensate all African and Caribbean descendants in the divided kingdom. And, it went on to say time is up, and if slave owners can be compensated for losing their slaves, the government should compensate the descendants of the injustice the British Empire caused. And I also released another story where for many, I didn't even know this personally, but someone had shared this information with me, where I revealed that it was just as recent as I think 2005 or 2015, one of those, that they actually stopped paying the slave owners for ending slavery. It's crazy, but then they don't have enough. So the petition, I reminded you guys, if it hit 10,000, then the government would have to respond. And if it hits 100,000, then they will actually have to have a debate in Parliament. It can only be signed by people in Britain, but, I hope they will. If you know anyone in Britain, definitely send the link. I'll attach it in the comments below. And so the government was forced to respond on August 4th. After the signatures surpassed 10,000, they're currently at 19,000. This is definitely going to hit 100,000. And it's just like, they're not going to apologize. First of all, they haven't even apologized. I think it's only the Church of England and some banks like Lloyd Bank and stuff who have said they're even going to pay reparations. But the money governments have not even come out and apologized. And so, the government response was actually sent from the Treasury Department. And they said, the UK deplores the human suffering caused by slavery and slave trade, blah, blah, blah. They are among the most abhorrent chapters in the history. But they went on to say, reparations are not part of the government's approach. We feel deep sorrow. Really? For the transatlantic slave trade, and fully recognize a strong sense of injustice and the legacy of slavery in the most affected parts of the world. But they said there's no money. The reparations are not coming, according to the divided kingdom. They said, on June 14th, the Prime Minister had pledged to establish a new commission on race and ethnic disparities. And the cross-government commission was meant to examine all aspects of continuing racial and ethnic inequalities in Britain. The commission aimed to set out a new positive agenda for change. No money. That's all I'm trying to say. And they went on to say that the divided kingdom is, the trailblazer in terms of fighting any kinds of modern day slavery. They talked about how since 2014, they had their first ever modern slavery strategy, where they have been playing a leading role internationally in making sure that modern day slavery doesn't happen. But no money. No money. We want money. We don't want to hear what you're doing. We want, I'm speaking on behalf of my African brothers and sisters in the divided kingdom. We don't care. We don't care. Modern slavery, blah, blah, blah. No. Then they went on to say, lastly, we work directly through international organizations and with partners around the world to recognize and address these challenges. And they said that they've actually started a £200 million UK aid commitment, which is helping to catch offenders, support victims, and prevents families falling into exploitation. So they've started a £200 million fund to deal with modern slavery, and yet there's no money to compensate those that suffered from the slavery that they're so sorry about. You see what I mean? It's not that the funds aren't there. It's that the will isn't there. Because it would mean so many things would have to shift, because they've lied to their own people. Sometimes it's not even about us, beloveds. It's about keeping their own people, because if their own people realize that they were the ones who were enslaved first and that they've been in perpetual slavery, they've been lied to mentally by making them think they're part of the Messiah race and they're part of this and they're helping the world, when their governments are committing terrible atrocities and people are so disconnected. Muzungus our age are so disconnected from the realities that they actually think, oh, slavery happened so long ago, so, I have nothing to do with it. And yet we were paying the former slave owner, the descendants of the former slave owners, till 2005 or 2015. Please clarify the date in the comments if you know it. So we have to realize the wizardry and the sorcery that is happening. That's why we need to just let the matrix collapse, beloveds. There's nothing. Don't try and get at it. It's like a company is collapsing and you're still trying to get your last check or your last this from them. It ain't gonna happen. Just let it go, because a new dawn is here. We are a new breed of African. It's not gonna be business as usual. And I'm telling you, we will get compensated one way or another, but not not through their systems, not through their channels. A truly strong Africa is the only Africa that will able to demand the reparations for our people. Until next time, tuko pamoja. Hello and welcome to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. MumbiSeraki. Let me just check that we're good. Okay. Okay, let's stand here. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. MumbiSeraki. We're here on the sidelines of the Summit of Solutions and big things going on. We're going to be sharing a lot about the Zimbabwe appeal in future episodes. But with me is Brother Leo, and I know a lot of you will probably recognize his face. My fans from the UK, my subscribers from the UK, I'm sure you'll recognize his face, but a heavyweight. He's part of the Nation of Islam, but he is a revolutionary. Greetings, my brother.
Greetings, sister.
So my first question is, in a nutshell, what do you think has the black man enslaved?
Sister, of course we know today that it's no longer chains, it's no longer physical, it's now mental. It's our minds that are enslaved. We are a people today who literally are thinking and acting out of somebody else's reality,
yes,
somebody else's mind, and so we have to free our minds. Our people have to appreciate. And, I always say as a Jamaican that we're quite stubborn people, and we think we know things when we don't know things. And so there's a kind of humility which is needed now,
yes,
in black people, to recognize that we literally have to go back to school. In the Nation of Islam, we are students first and foremost, studying self, studying the world and the reality of how we fit into a world like this. And if we will be humble enough to do that and to really recognize the fact that we are miseducated, misguided by the system in which we currently live, then we can begin to redress that, change it, and start to re-educate ourselves as to the reality of who we are as a people.
So, there's a lot of discussion about the tools that have been used for enslavement. What would you say are like the key, the top three?
The top three tools that have been used is first and foremost religion. This huge lie and this huge trick which has been played on our people, misidentifying the creator of the heavens and the earth, yes, as a big fat Caucasian Father Christmas, yes, sitting on a cloud in the sky. The fact that they then say that Jesus is the son of this one, and they give us this depiction which most of our people still have on their wall somewhere, yeah, of a white Jesus. This is very, very heavy stuff, because we are a spiritual people by nature. Our propensity, our leaning is towards the creator of the heavens, yes, and the earth.
Exactly.
And so if we are misidentifying who that creator is, that leaves us in a very bad condition. And so we are today steeped in white supremacy, thinking that we're worshiping Jesus, when in reality we're worshiping white supremacy. So that's the number one. you know, as a people, we have been destroyed economically. We don't pool resources. We don't do for self.
Yeah.
And so this is the next pillar that we need to address, in that we must come together as a people. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that our greatest weapon is our unity.
Yes.
We are a very powerful people if we would come together collectively, cut away, destroy these artificial borders that separate us, be they gender, be they race or so-called nationality, because many of us are caught up in these artificial things, thinking that we're different and separate, when in reality we are a universal and global family. So that's the second thing. It's economics. We have to come together, pool resources, learn to do something for ourselves. Every other group takes these things for granted. Chinese people, nobody has to teach Chinese people to come together and make a Chinatown wherever they find themselves. Nobody has to say to Asian people, you need to do this. Nobody has to say this to Jewish people. They all do it as a matter of course.